So today we are with a car that needs no introduction, the Hyundai i10, which has become a brand and household name since 2007 when the first i10 made its presence. In fact, the i10 was the second car model from the Korean car maker after the Santro. Now we have it in its latest avatar with a turbo petrol GDI engine. Welcome to 1.0L India. Join me as I get you all the information on the latest pocket rocket from Hyundai. Coming to the exteriors, the Grand i10 Nios always was a good looking car, and now in the turbo form, nothing much has changed. In fact, nothing has changed. What has changed is turbo badging in nice red color that comes in on the front and the rear. The Grand i10 Nios has a very smiley face. There is this nice wide grille over here. You have this glossy black finish that adds to the value. You get this boomerang shape DRLs that look quite neat. Projector fog lamps, projector headlamps, nicely flushed back into the body. Going to the side profile, you get these 15 inches diamond cut alloys, neatly housed wing mirrors with LED turn lamps, dual color paint finish. Roof rails are also included on the package. You get this nice G-i10. This is the Grand i10 badging on the pillar. This pillar particularly gives a very significant vibe to the car. You know, it makes it stand out from the other cars in the segment. The rear profile on the Nios gets this nice wide, bright, broad badging, the Nios badging, and as mentioned, this is the turbo model, so it gets a special turbo badging out here. This is the sports trim, so that's the badging over there. The rear end is also quite catchy and good looking with this neat looking flushed tail lamps. These were like point to be noted here is that the Nios received its latest facelift just last year, I guess around 12 months back, and so everything looks quite fresh, everything looks quite in time and very trendy. In terms of safety, the Grand i10 Nios comes loaded with features like dual airbags, ABS with EBD, emergency stop signal, speed sensing door locks, rear parking cameras with sensors, etc. Coming to the interiors, as mentioned, nothing much has changed. In fact, nothing has changed as compared to the other trims. This is the sports version. You have the 5.3-inch LCD screen over here, which is the speedometer and the trip meters and the telltale and the fuel meter. You have a manual RPM meter with a silver dial around it. Other than this, you have the nice and crisp looking infotainment system. This is the 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, which comes with Apple CarPlay connectivity, Android Auto, wireless Bluetooth, telephone connectivity, etc. This is an highly crisp and highly user-friendly interfaced AVN system. It is very legit to read with very crisp screen and display, and yes, the connectivity features and everything is up to the mark to today's standard. Apart from this, you also have a single zone climate control unit, and apart from that, you have the wireless charger. In fact, this again is the first in segment. This always was the first in segment, the Nios, to get a wireless charger. You have the power outlet over here and two USB connectivity options. The central console also gets two twin cup holders and some storage space to keep your keys and maybe some other small stuff. Overall, the plastic quality is quite good. You get this unique satin finish, soft smooth finish crash pad over here, which highlights the interiors, and you also have this nice storage bin over here for your keys, maybe for your some paper documents. and that's how it is. Overall the interiors is of very good quality, very ergonomic, comfortable, and sporty, with the color being black and red, the theme color for the cabin area. The Nios gets its seats, the front seats are very well countered and it holds you in place. These seats remind you a lot of the Ralco sports seats, the racing car seats. The comfort level is pretty neat up front. The driver seats gets manual adjust for height, and which is pretty good for the segment. Coming to the rear seat comfort, the ingress and egress is quite easy and comfortable, and now with the front seat positioned to my seating height, I am around about 5'6", 5'7". You have pretty decent leg room, as you can see. This is the amount of leg room that you have, around 6 inches, and things are very neat and very comfortable over here. Good amount of headroom, good amount of shoulder room. The floor is quite flat, and I'm sure a third passenger can also fit in comfortably. This is how the third passenger will be. Seating is very comfortable. The padding is good. You get fixed headrest. That could be the only drawback over here, but then that's quite pretty neat and pretty acceptable. So how is the Hyundai Grand i10 Nios Turbo Petrol to drive? Here we are behind the wheels finally, and first things first, this is the same engine that also powers the Hyundai Aura. It is also seen on the Hyundai Venue. This engine makes 100 PS of power and has 175 Nm of torque under it. This engine is mated to a 5-speed manual gearbox. There is no IMT or an DCT automatic on this engine on the Nios. Though this is a 3-cylinder engine, but it is not evident anywhere practically while driving that this is a 3-cylinder engine. There is no lack of power. The refinement level is super high, and this engine is fun to drive. We've been driving it since morning in traffic, on the highways, on busy roads, in narrow lanes. But then never have we found that this engine is running out of breath or is short of power. The car behaves very well with this engine, and in fact this is the engine that we are in love with after driving it on the Venue, in the Turbo Aura, and now on the Nios. This is the best engine that I would like to drive and own from the Hyundai lineup. The Nios has always been a car that is fun to drive. It comes loaded with features. It is very ergonomic, very comfortable. The turbo engine, the GDI engine, adds to the fun factor. It adds to its overall USP. The steering feels very light, and it feels very lively. Gone are the days when Hyundai steerings were like dead and they were not fun to drive. But then now of late, Hyundai has got its engineering team on the right spot, and I think Hyundai cars have evolved with time. So the Grand i10 Nios in its turbo form is a lot fun to drive. The suspension setup on the turbo version of the Nios has not changed, and it is the same suspension setup that has been used on the other trims. So no much change in the overall comfort and ride quality. It has always been a good, comfortable car. The ride quality is pretty neat, as we have been experiencing since morning on the bad roads of Mumbai. The bad patches. The car has been behaving very well. The car has got an excellent suspension setup, and yes, this is one of the better cars to drive in the segment. The gear shifting is very precise and very crisp, and we like the way the manual gearbox balances the turbo petrol engine with the gears being spaced out very well. But then what, I would personally like the Grand i10 Nios to get either an IMT or the DCT. It will just make it the best car in its segment. But nevertheless, this still is one of the better cars to go for. The Grand i10 has always been an excellent car in its segment. The Grand i10 became the Nios last year with a major facelift. Now it gets an all-new turbo GDI engine, which is one of the hallmark engines on the Hyundai lineup. The car comes loaded with features, it comes loaded with all the tech features, safety features, it looks good, it drives very well. The Grand i10 Nios with the turbo GDI engine, if you ask me, is my pick from the segment as one of the best cars to buy.